Hey guys, I'm back here for part 2 of just me talking about my experience at Carolina Rebellion last year. In this video I'm just going to be talking about all the bands that we went to go see on Saturday and Sunday. And we saw so many great bands those 2 days. So Saturday, the first band that we went to go see was I Prevail. Now, as I said in part 1, a few months before we went to Carolina Rebellion, I went around to YouTube and just started listening to all the different bands that were playing, and one of the bands that I really got into was I Prevail. And Spencer had actually been listening to them before, and so we knew we really wanted to start the day off with them. And they played an amazing set. They played a lot of their best songs, like Stuck in Your Head, Come and Get It, Pull the Plug, and then they ended their set with Scars, which is probably the first really big song that they're known for. And during Scars, the one of the singers, he went up. There's two singers. There's Brian and Eric, and one of the singers, Eric, he walked over to the side. We were on the stage because the stage. We have the stage here, and then the stages are divided by a little barrier in between the two sides of the stage. The two bigger stages have these. The smaller stages don't. There were, because there were 4 stages. There were 2 really big stages and then 2 small stages. And the 2 big stages were divided by, a barrier. There was, two fences, and then there was a little area in between. And he came over to our side and he said, "I want to see everybody split down the middle." And then he walked over to the other side and he told the other side to do the same. And I remember Spencer was sort of looking around like, "What?" And I just turned to him and I just go, "Wall of Death." And he just goes, "Get behind me." Now, I have never been into a wall of death before. For those of you who don't know what a wall of death is, if you guys aren't familiar with, metal shows, a wall of death is when the audience splits down the middle, and when the lead singer says go, both sides of the audience runs at each other. And, the whole idea is to just sort of run at each other and just sort of not really hit. You're not really trying to hurt each other. Or at least at Carolina Rebellion, I know at some metal festivals, yes, there are people that are trying to hurt the other people that they're running into. But in this situation, it wasn't like that at all. It was mostly just everybody running into each other, and then you just sort of hit each other, but you didn't try to really hurt each other or anything like that. But I'd never been into that before, and it was pretty cool to experience something like that for the first time. After they played, Spencer was even saying that he didn't understand what what Eric, the lead singer, one of the lead singers, meant by split down the middle, because the audience was already split down the middle by the 2 fences that divides the left side and the right side of the crowd, and he thought that. And he was like, "Well, we're already split down the middle." But what Eric meant was, the front of the left side and the front of the right side split. The entire audience didn't split. Only the first 5 or 6 rows of people did. So it wasn't like both sides all the way split down the middle. One thing that's pretty cool is for I Prevail's their song "Come and Get It," on their music video, at the end of it, one of the lead singers, Brian, is talking about a giveaway that they're having, and the show that they're playing at the end of that music video is Carolina Rebellion, and they actually do show the Wall of Death that I was in. So if you guys want to see video of that, I'll leave a link down below to their music video. It's a full music video of them playing their song "Come and Get It" at different places, indoor and outdoor places. But at the very end of the video is footage from Carolina Rebellion. So if you guys want to see that, I'll leave a link down below to their video. Also, there's a ton of people on YouTube that have, recorded videos of the Wall of Death. So if you guys want to see that, you can just search around "I Prevail Wall of Death Carolina Rebellion 2017, and you'll be able to see it. So then after that, we went to go see All That Remains. Now, All That Remains was one of the first metalcore bands that I got into when I was younger. I, like a lot of other people, were introduced to them with Guitar Hero. Their song 6 is included on Guitar Hero 2, 3? I don't know. I'm sure people that play Guitar Hero can tell me. I haven't played Guitar Hero in years, but their song 6 is included on there, and so we really wanted to see them. Now I know that a lot of people are not. A lot of people don't like All That Remains as much because they change their sound around a lot, and they're no longer a metalcore band. Now they're more of a hard rock / metal band, and I know a lot of people don't like their new music, but I still enjoy their music. I've even heard stuff from their latest album, Madness. They even played stuff from Madness, and I enjoyed I enjoyed their new music. The 2 songs that they played from The Fall of Ideals, which is their most well-known album that has 6 on it, was The Air That I Breathe and This Calling, which was awesome to hear those 2 songs live, because those are 2 of my favorite All That Remains songs, and it was incredible. They were absolutely amazing, and yeah, it was just really cool. So then after that, we sort of wandered around the place, and the way that the people dress and everything, it's just really hold on, I'm just fixing something on my bed, but the way that people dress and everything there is really cool. Like, some people dressed up in costumes and things like that. Like, there was one guy, he had a full Speedo that was like the American flag, all the way down with the American flag, and I guess he didn't have anything underneath it except for, I guess he was wearing boxers or something underneath it. But, he just had, it was a full, not Speedo, what am I saying? It was a full body, like, what is the name of it? When it's really thin and it's touching your body, and your entire body is, I can't think of it. It has a zipper in the back, and you zip yourself up, and it goes over your face and your head and everything. I don't know. I can't even think of the name of it. It's like a full body. Well, anyway, he had that on, and every time he went crowd surfing, people started chanting USA, USA. I can't think of what it is. It's not a costume. It's like I can't even think of the name of it, but he was going around that, and that was really cool. There was also people dressed up as like Power Rangers. That's what's cool about festivals like this. You can dress up as something and go there. You don't have to just wear like a t-shirt of a band that you like and pants. I mean, you can if you want, but you can also go crazy and dress up like things, which is pretty cool. We also saw somebody dressed up as like a banana. It was it was really cool just seeing so many people do that. Also, I don't know why in my last video I called crowd surfing body surfing. No idea what it's called, but anyway, I'm pretty sure once I'm done with this video, I'll remember the name of, what is it? It's like something tarred. I can't think of it, but whatever you put on, and it's so close to your skin and it covers your whole body. I can't. Anyway. So after All That Remains, which was a really, really great band, we went to go see, who else we go see? Oh, we wanted to go see Sum 41 and In Flames. Now, Sum 41 was one of my favorite pop punk bands that me and Spencer grew up listening to. They were our first sort of introduction to sort of punk music. I know some people say bands like Sum 41 and Green Day aren't really, they're pop punk, they're not really, but the thing is, like, I think a lot of people were introduced to punk music by listening to stuff like Sum 41 and, Green Day, and those were 2 of the bands that we really loved, so we wanted to see them, but unfortunately we didn't, because there was another band that was about to play, and Sum 41 and In Flames, which is another heavy metal band, or metalcore band, I should say, that we're both really into, they were playing at the same time on 2 different stages. So unfortunately we were not able to see them. We did walk over to Sum 41 and watch a bit of them playing, and they had a pretty cool stage set up and everything. They had balloons and stuff like that. And then while they were playing, they played a short snippet of Master of Puppets. The part right before the solo, and then they played the guitar solo, and then the lead singer was, control me faster. So it was kind of cool to see Sum 41 play a short snippet of Metallica's Master of Puppets. And then after that, we went to go see one of my favorite bands and one of my dad's favorite bands, Tesla. Now, Spencer's never really listened to Tesla that much. He's not really a classic rock person. He enjoys it for what it is, but he's not really, he basically, any classic band, classic rock band, the only songs that he really knows are songs they play on the radio all the time. But we went to go see Tesla, and I did introduce Spencer to a few of Tesla's songs, and he enjoyed what he heard. And Tesla was amazing. They were absolutely amazing. They played all his songs. They played Love Song, they played Signs, they played Modern Day Cowboy. They played all their best stuff, and it was really great that I was able to see a band that my dad absolutely loved. My dad was the one that introduced me to Tesla. And, my mom's boyfriend, Mike, he's a big fan of Tesla as well. And so when I told him, hey, I'm going to see Tesla, he got, he's like, man, that's going to be awesome. And it was, they were amazing live. And, just a really, really great show. And then after that, I'm actually reading the bands on the back because I can't remember the list. Oh, the next band we saw was the Pretty Reckless, I think, which they were pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I do enjoy them. A bit of their music, but that was the only band that was playing that day or playing at that time that we wanted to see. I think on the other stage there was another band playing that we weren't really into, but so we listened to them. And then we stopped and we got something to eat, and they had different places set up. Like I think they had was it Pizza Hut or Domino? I think it was whatever pizza place has the personal pan. They had that set up, and then they had other places where you could get food and stuff, and of course you could get drinks. And we ended up getting personal pizza. There was also places where you could buy like T-shirts. There was an FYE tent, which I actually remember I need to grab something. I'm gonna go ahead and keep recording because at the end of this video I'm gonna show off everything that I ended up getting from Rebellion, because I got 2 shirts, a vinyl record, and see here, it's right here. There we go. All right, back to my bedroom. I got a vinyl record at the FYE tent. I got a couple T-shirts, and I got a cozy. But there were places that you could go to get food. They also had a Ferris wheel there that was pretty cool. We didn't go on that. But anyway, after we sat down and got some food for Ultra Bridge, Spencer really wanted to go see Korn. And they were playing, I think, earlier than the main headliner. Korn started playing like 8-something, and the main headliner that I wanted to see was Def Leppard. They started playing at like 9:15 or 9 or something. And so we went over to see Korn. By the time we got there, we were at the back of the audience. And we could barely even hear the lead singer, Jonathan. We could barely even hear him singing. And, it was, since it was Saturday, there was a lot more people there than Friday. And unfortunately, Spencer just said he wasn't feeling it. We couldn't even hear Jonathan singing. The only time we could really hear him sing was after a while when he hit the high notes. That was it, and we could barely even hear the sound. Apparently the stage that they were playing on, I can't remember what stage, because there's 2 big stages. There's the Carolina stage and the Rebellion stage, and there's 2 smaller ones. And I can't remember which of the 2 big stages have had problems. But I know Spencer said that the stage that Korn was playing on has always had problems. Even when he went to go see, I think he saw A Day to Remember on that stage, he even said that the lead singer of A Day to Remember was upset that the stage, that the stage was messed up. He was mad, and the sound on that stage is messing up. I hope they fix it, but since the sound on stage wasn't that good, we could barely hear anything. And so, after about a song or 2, Spencer was like, "Hey, you want to go and get a good place for Def Leppard?" And I was like, "Sure." Now Def Leppard is a band that, like I said, Spencer wasn't really into. The only songs that he knew by them were the songs you hear on the radio: "Photograph," "Rock of Ages," "Pour Some Sugar on Me." But Def Leppard has always been one of my favorite classic bands and one of my dad's favorite bands, and they played an amazing show. It did get kind of chilly. I know Friday, was really rainy and wet, but Saturday it was hot. It was kind of cloudy, but it was mostly warm. It was mostly hot throughout the day, so it was actually a lot nicer. And I remember the lead singer of Def Leppard was saying, "Man, it's cold here, man. It's not because it had gotten colder throughout the night as the night went on." And he said, "Man, it's cold. It's not as cold as it's colder here than it is back at our hometown, or back at home, or whatever he said," which was kind of funny. But yeah, they played an amazing show. Even the drummer, he had a drum solo, which was really awesome. Being able to see, one of my favorite drummers, especially, since he lost his arm so many years ago, being able to see him play a drum solo, and even Spencer was like, "Wow, that was a really good drum solo," and he really liked him. It was cool that he was able to hear some other songs that he had never heard from them, plus all the classic ones. So yeah, Def Leppard was definitely the best band. Saturday, them and I Prevail were definitely the two best bands that we saw Saturday. And then Sunday, there was a lot of great bands. Now, the first band that we went to go see was Beartooth. Now, Spencer had never heard Beartooth before, but when I first heard them about a month or so before we went, I immediately felt a connection to them. Now, as you guys know, if you guys have been following me, I've talked about it in my videos. I was bullied a lot in middle school and high school, and it led me to have a lot of depression and a lot of anger. And, hearing Beartooth and hearing their songs, they really connect to me. Caleb Shomo, who is basically the lead singer of the band, he records all the instruments. I really relate a lot to him because he went through depression as well. And they were absolutely incredible. They played aggressive. They played Beaten in Lips, which is probably my favorite song by them. It's a song about child abuse. And then they played Sick of Me. Now, the song Sick of Me is a song that it describes how I felt about middle school. Going through the pain in middle school and being sick of it, and being sick of the person I became, because I became a really negative person in middle school. I had a lot of anger because every day I was bullied every day, and it really, I really hated it. And middle school still is, the 3 worst years of my life. Well, next to the year my dad passed away, but so that song really, really connected to me. And after we saw them, Spencer was like, "Wow, those guys are great." And I was like, "Yeah, I told you." Also, during the song The Lines, which is one of their more popular songs, they had Caleb Shomo told the whole audience to get down on one knee. And then right when the song kicked in, we all jumped up, and it was great. Yeah, Beartooth is definitely an audience participation, like get up, jump, and type of bands, and they were amazing, and I love them. And then they also played the In Between, which is probably their most popular song at this point. So absolutely love Beartooth. After that, we went to go see. Who did we go see? We went to go see Skillet, which was another band that we grew up listening to. A really great, Christian rock metal band, whatever you want to call them. I'm sure a lot of people know who Skillet are, but they did an amazing show. And then we saw 3 Days Grace, another band that we grew up listening to. Really great. There are a few bands that I wish we could have got a chance to see. I know Papa Roach was playing in between Volbeat and the last band, which was the main band we wanted to go see, Avenged Sevenfold. They were playing as the headliner. And I remember after Volbeat played, which I'm a fan of Volbeat. I'm not huge into their music, but they were playing right before Avenged Sevenfold, and after they played, we knew we could not leave. We knew we would not be able to leave that stage that they played on, because every person in that entire festival is going to go to that stage and they're going to see Avenged Sevenfold. Even when we were driving up to the festival to go in, you would not believe how many people just had Avenged Sevenfold shirts on. And you knew that there were so many people that came just for that day, just to see Sevenfold. And that day was the biggest day in the history of Carolina Rebellion. So to see so many people like that and just be a part of it, it's amazing. But so we saw Volbeat, and we decided to stay at that stage because we knew if we left, we would be in the back like we were for Korn, and we wouldn't be able to hear or really really see much, so we stayed where we were. We went up a little bit, and while we were waiting on Sevenfold, we were able to watch Papa Roach's set on the 2 screens on each side of the stage, so we were able to see them play, but we weren't able to hear them because they were playing like music on the radio or something. I forget, but I don't think we were able to hear them. I don't remember. I don't remember being able to hear Papa Roach. We may have been able to, and I just don't remember. But I do know we were able to watch their set, so I don't know. Maybe we did hear them. I don't know. But finally, the number 1 band we went to go see, Avenged Sevenfold. Me and my cousin Spencer have been a huge fan of them for years. I was introduced to them by Guitar Hero once again with Beast and Harlot. That song, that's the song that was featured on that game. And Spencer, he was listening to them longer than I have, and they were incredible. They played a couple songs from their new album. They played The Stage, Hail to the King, Nightmare. They played Afterlife, which was amazing. And then they played So Far Away, which is a really emotional song. It's a song that, they dedicated to their drummer, The Rev, who unfortunately passed away back in 2010 while they were recording their album Nightmare. And it was such an emotional song, and I was actually surprised that they played it, and I was really glad that they did. It is a song that, now that I hear it, I do think about my mom's father, my papa, who basically, raised me and Spencer with his, with my Nana, who unfortunately I also lost a few months after I lost my dad. And he was a really just such an incredible, amazing person to us. So it was really great to be able to, hear them play that song. And like I said, it was a song that every time I hear it, I think about him. And then they played A Little Piece of Heaven. Now, A Little Piece of Heaven, I remember right before they played it, the lead singer of the band, M. Shadows, was even like, this is one song that we probably wouldn't play at a festival. Because, with a festival, they have a time limit. It was Sunday night, and so there was a curfew. So, there was a time that they had to play and be done. And A Little Piece of Heaven is about a 7-minute song or something. I forget exactly how long it is, but it was incredible. It was absolutely amazing hearing that song. It's one of my favorite songs. And it's just that, it's like a rock opera. It's like a Nightmare Before Christmas inspired, just great song, and I absolutely love that. And then the last song that they played was Unholy Confessions, which was, a song from their old days. It was back, a metalcore song, really heavy, and it was just, being able to hear that song is amazing. Because anything from their older days, because they used to be a lot heavier than they are now. They are still heavy, but they used to be like metalcore, and now they're more like, they're more, just heavy metal band. But they also they're also like hard rock, and Avenged Sevenfold is just a mixture of everything, and that's what I love about Avenged Sevenfold is they're not scared to take chances. They're not scared to try something different, try something that the fans aren't going to expect, because each of their albums sounds different. They all sound completely different than the last one. And, I think it's great to see a band like that evolve. And see a band say, hey, we did this type of music on this album. Now we're going to move on and do something else. And that's what I think a lot of bands do. I know a lot of fans don't like it. Like, I know a lot of fans don't like that All That Remains changed their sound. But I like when bands take chances and do something different. But yeah, Unholy Confessions was absolutely amazing live, and it was so incredible, and it was a great ending to an absolutely unforgettable weekend. And then after that, we all started walking out through the gates, and we all just started making like bah, like sheep sound like we were walking to the slaughter, and then we drove on home. And I remember before we left, Spencer was trying to tell a car sitting out there that, because the car had its back light on the inside, and he was trying to yell to them, "Hey, your light's still on," and his voice was so. Both of our voices were gone because we were basically screaming for 3 days straight. It was amazing. It was just amazing. And yeah, it's something I'll never forget. You know, no matter how many other festivals or shows I'll go to, you know, even if I go to Carolina Rebellion again, or if I go to any other music festival, I'll never forget my first time going to Carolina Rebellion, my first music festival, and it was incredible. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the different things that I picked up. I'll show you guys the t-shirts first. The first one I got is a Carolina Rebellion t-shirt. If I just pull it out real quick. Alright, so there we go. I absolutely love this design on it. It just says Carolina Rebellion across the top, and then has that right there. And in the back has the list of all the bands, which is cool. And then it says Carolina Rebellion, you know, May 5th, 6th, 7th, 2017, Concord, North Carolina. And then these are all the bands that played each day. Next shirt I got it right after we went to go see All That Remains, and it's an All That Remains shirt. It's a Madness shirt for their new album, and it has a variation of the artwork on that album, which is very cool. You know, it's got like the head right here, and you know, it says Madness across the bottom, and then there's a quote from the actual song on the back. Very, very cool. And then I also got this. Spencer got this, you know, in the mail. It's just basically the thing that, you know, they would send you in the mail, and then you would get your wristband, which I decided. And then here's the map of it, and you can see where the stages are. Like there's the Carolina stage, there's the third stage. There's the main entrance, the fourth stage, and then the Rebellion stage. So the 4 stages, and you know, like I said, 4 different stages, and then that's where the wristband was, which is right here. Cool. Monster Energy Carolina Rebellion wristband. I kept mine. And then I got a little cozy right here, which I absolutely love. That right there, the skull and Carolina Rebellion, Concord, North Carolina. I haven't used it, and I don't think I will. I mostly just got it just because, you know, it was there. And the last thing I'll show is the vinyl record of from I Prevail. This is the Heart vs. Mind EP. I got this right after I saw them, and this is a limited edition of 1,000 copies on ox blood red vinyl with black and yellow splatter, which is pretty cool. It's still sealed, and I plan on keeping the seal. Those are all the songs. So yeah, guys, like I said, absolutely amazing experience, and you know, I really hope that one day I'll be able to go back there. I'm not going this year because, you know, I know Spencer, he likes to go every other year. So if we do decide to go again, we might go next year. I really hope so, because I really want to go back. It just depends on what type of bands are playing, and if we think the trip is worth it, you know, because it's a few hours drive. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. As I always say, let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you guys have been to Carolina Rebellion down below. As always, my Facebook and Twitter links are down below. My link to my movie collecting Facebook group is down below. And I'll also leave a link down below to I Prevail's Come and Get It music video, where you can see a clip of the Wall of Death at the end of their set at Carolina Rebellion. Anyway, guys, I did not realize this video was almost 30 minutes long, so I apologize for that. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday.